Hello, AP students, it's Miss Allie, and we are going to talk real quickly about the argumentative essay. So students who score, oh, by the way, you should be taking notes on this, paper notes that you're going to turn in. So to get started, students who score low on the argumentative essay usually do so for the following reasons. They don't have a strong thesis statement, which you need to make very clear of what you're actually going to talk about and what you're actually arguing. Students who score low usually do not have specific support for their argument and rely mainly on opinion, not facts. And making sure that you don't go back and forth on your stance is really key in scoring a high score. Don't argue both sides of the argument, choose one and stick with it. Using support. It is not enough to simply state examples or facts that support your argument. Clearly explain how these examples support your argument. This is the difference between a 5 and a higher level score. Introductory paragraph. Make sure that you have an introductory paragraph that catches interest, provides any relevant background information that we need to be aware of, presents issues and the topic itself, defines pertinent information and terms, and make sure to state the argument clearly. So just make sure to acknowledge opposing arguments, find weaknesses within those opposing arguments, and support them with reasoning. Demonstrate what your claim is and why it is more valid. So this isn't to be confused with, I know I just said before in the introductory paragraph that you don't go back and forth, and that's really important. We don't want to go back and forth, but we do want to say others may think this, and this is why they're wrong. And that way it just supports your argument and supports why you're arguing what you're arguing. Feel free to pause this video, by the way, at any point and just to take notes. I know I'm going really quickly, but that's so that way you guys can go as fast or as slow as you want to. And so just make sure confirmation paragraphs, providing the reasons and evidence for the writer's claim, showing the logical development of the argument, don't include pathos. Supporting argument, examples from knowledge. So think about history, think about the speeches that we're reading, think about satire of history, think about literature. So include things like In Cold Blood, Nickel and Dimed, Outliers, anything that you can to relate to why you're arguing what you're arguing. Include anything based in science or in current events. These are also really good things to remind the reader and just makes your argument much stronger. All right, obstacle number 2, problems with the argument. The AP graders aren't looking for your opinion. They are looking to see if your argument is valid and well thought out. Planning here is key. A couple of minutes of planning to make sure that your argument makes sense will ensure that you don't lose points later. Whether you jot down a few notes or draw a quick graphic organizer or a mind map, make sure that you plan your essay before you just start writing. Obstacle number 3, prompt language. You may want to make sure that you annotate this prompt so that you know what you're actually being asked. So it's kind of like what we've done in the past. We've underlined, we've circled terms, and then I ask you, like, what is the prompt actually saying? So is it asking you to defend, challenge, or qualifies any argument? Defend means that your argument supports the position presented. Challenge means that your argument is against the position presented. And then qualify means that there are pros and cons. So just make sure to be keeping these things in mind. These are things that you definitely want to take down in your notes because these are the things that are going to get you caught up when you're actually writing. Conclusion. You want to make sure to wrap up your argument, restate your argument, voice a final plea to the reader to take action or to not change your thinking, and then refrain from repeating any information that you already have talked about. Remember that your essay does not have to be 5 paragraphs, but if that's what you're comfortable with writing and that's what you are really good at writing, then keep going with that. Don't let that stop you. Also, on the flip side, if you're a really strong writer and you're like, hey, I can get this done in 4 paragraphs, then do that. That works too. There's no paragraph requirement. Really, they're looking for content and for you to explain yourself. Have a great day, juniors. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to turn in your notes tomorrow.